Judith Collins making an apology for mixing up her messages and accidentally saying that the average income of a teacher was $140,000, which is, I can tell you, an absolute lie. So she came out and said, "Oh no, oops! I made an oopsie. I didn't mean to say that." But also, she then also, in the same breath, told the unions to, where is it?
Stop
I
having
can't
little
find
tantrums.
Tantrums. That's the word she used. Yes. So in one breath, she's little. Come back to the bargaining table and to not have little tantrums. So she apologized for spreading misinformation, but then also said that they're having little tantrums because they want pay, reasonable fair pay. Why, I don't know. It's just follows what we've seen time and time again. But the secondary school teachers are on strike tomorrow. And there's a wee article that I saw on TV1 that kind of just explains a little bit about what's happening. And the other thing as well that was in the news is that the people the unions that had pay equity claims have taken the government to court for taking away their claims, basically. With little time to consult and all of that fun stuff. All right, so I'm gonna play this for you. That was coherent. This is why I shouldn't speak while I'm also setting up the clip, because none of it makes sense, and I really should have just said, "Hey Chewie, what do you think?" It is very much that. I should have just said, "Hey Chewie, can you speak for 2 seconds while I quickly put this up?" All right, Crusher Collins apologizes, kind of, not really.
Public Service Minister Judith Collins has apologised for misleading the public after claiming some teachers get paid more than they do. High school teachers are getting set to ditch the classroom tomorrow to strike for better pay. Here's senior political reporter Benedict Collins.
Our high school teachers will be striking tomorrow for better pay. Outside St Mary's College, this family reckoned good on them.
Please get out there, support our teachers. Our teachers, it's really important that we get behind their mahi, because otherwise no one can. Under this government, even pay equity, look at that.
They deserve.
But think of
Furious
the parents and the
yeah.
angry. They're so furious, and the students are so furious about this. Trust me, they're furious.
They deserve the amount of pay that they want.
The government and the union haven't been able to strike a deal.
Unfortunately, we're going to have to engage in some industrial action. The government hasn't come to the party.
Ministers called the strike a political stunt last week, arguing teachers are already well paid.
On average, someone with 10 years experience is on about $140,000, plus, of course, all the time that they have on leave.
But that's not true. Less than 2%.
The bullshit about leave? Go fuck yourself, Judith.
I brought that up with a teacher friend of mine once at a party, that one of the best things about being a teacher must be all the leave that they get, because they get all the school holidays. I almost got stabbed that night. That person was incensed about it. I love that she's saying that she was misinformed. It was a lie. Judith Collins tried to lie to you that all you had to be was a teacher that had worked in the industry for 10 years and you were on nearly $150,000 a year. And almost as that had left her mouth, every teacher in the country was going, "What the fuck?" And there were so many examples of teachers going, "I have worked in this industry for 12 years and I am on X amount of dollars. I have worked in..." Who the fuck is she talking to? Where is that pay scale? Oh, it's a really specific position. Someone that's been a principal for a long... The very tippy top of the pay scale is $147,000. Isn't this very similar to the tactic that Simeon Brown has used on the teachers? That they want to turn around and go, "These people are paid way more than you. How dare they ask for more money?" And I don't think they're getting the response that they want from the public, because nurses and teachers are valued.
Really?
So where do you go now, Judith?
Just something on the holidays too. Something I thought about the other day, just quickly. If teachers didn't get the holiday breaks, which they're not really holidays, I can tell you now, my mother was a teacher, and I can tell you how much shit I missed out on because she's a teacher. And while I was on holiday, she was not. I'm also married to a teacher. I can tell you now, he was working on our honeymoon. During the school holidays, during his break, he was marking papers on our honeymoon. So go fuck yourself with these holidays. But also, kids can't learn for more than like 10-week blocks. They get exhausted. Imagine expecting a child of 6 years old to every week of the year, like we do as adults, to go to school and learn. They can't. I bet there are papers. I bet $100 there are papers and researchers that says that children cannot do that. So in a way, teachers are forced to have a break. But I can tell you now, it's not a break. They are exhausted, and they do take a break, but it's not a holiday.
You'll confirm this, Emily. Like, I've got friends that are teachers, and those holidays that the kids are off, they are doing their lesson planning. They're doing all of their setup and gearing up for the next term. So if Judith is just going, what? These motherfuckers are skiing or going to the beach and with their massive disposable incomes while you're having to go to work is just bullshit. But there are so many teachers out there, and all of those teachers have friends and family. This is a lie that was never going to last. Like, anybody that is repeating this on social media just has no friends or family that are teachers, that are just not in they believe that. They just do not know a teacher, haven't interacted with one ever. It is a lie that was not going to last more than 5 minutes after she said it, and now she's trying to cover her ass. She lied to you, New Zealand.
Carry on.
Percent of high school teachers earn over 140k.
I was quite surprised by that, because I've been teaching 20 years and I've been a head of department and I've been a dean, and I've been nowhere near close to those numbers. And so, look, it's really disappointing when they use that kind of misinformation to muddy the waters.
Did you mislead the public about how much teachers are getting paid?
No, actually, the press release is completely correct. I just mixed up my messages a bit, and so I've apologised for that.
When you make a mistake.
So, just to be clear, she actually didn't apologise for getting the number wrong. She doubled down and said the press release was correct. I got my messages wrong. So she hasn't actually apologised or corrected herself that the numbers were wrong. Am I wrong? Is that what I heard? Anyway.
And you say something wrong, you always correct yourself, and that's what she's done. That's what I would do too if I was her.
Labour's less charitable.
It was really harmful, her comments, in the lead up to the strikes and the negotiations, to be spreading such misinformation.
The Public Service Commissioner is leading negotiations. He's accusing the secondary school union of grandstanding for not accepting the offer. He says teachers could be between $2,000 and $7,000 better off a year. Sir Brian Roach says we don't have a bottomless pot of taxpayer money. While the typical high school teacher earns $100k, for comparison, Sir Brian Roach was paid $400,000 over the 8 months between November and June.
The government's made teachers a 1% pay increase offer. That's less than the rate of inflation. So it means if you're a teacher, your pay is actually going to go backwards under this government.
The PPTA expecting big turnouts at tomorrow's strikes.
I am really thankful of that jab and the comparison of how much that person earned, not in a year, not in a term, in a 6-month-ish period. I think it was like 8 months? $400,000 in 8 months. Like, I love that. If they had said something like he earned $140,000 or something like that, I would have been like, meh, $400,000, it's a lot more than the $100,000 that the typical teacher makes.
Yeah, that might not even be full-time work as well. That it might have been 8 months. It's not necessarily working a 40-hour week every week for those times. Like Judith Collins is on what, 300 grand? So
term, I believe.
Look, we know that this government.
It's more than that.
We know that this
That's some
government.
shit.
We know that this government doesn't like unions, and they are currently going up against two of our biggest unions simultaneously, and the parallels between them are startlingly clear. That they thought that offering someone less than the rate of inflation, effectively a pay cut, was somehow going to be okay. And that then they're reduced to saying things like, well, there's not a bottomless pot of money. You know, one of the things that Pat has on a soundboard is Judith Collins going, well, if the money's needed, then the money will be found. Guess what, Judith? Money needs to be found. You've got a bottomless pot of money for the Defence Forces. And I'm not even going to be the one that says, hey, look, there's not money that needs to be spent on the Defence Forces. Money needs to be spent on the Defence Forces as well. But her attitude of, if the money is needed, it will be found, and we have no money to give you, so stop asking. Take your 1% and be thankful that you get, what was the bottom of that? $2,000 extra a year? That's bullshit. And if you can't
it's
see
like
why that
$11
makes
per
people
paycheck
angry,
or some shit.
Please. Wow.
Yeah.
They deserve this strike action. And look, for the union organisers, and look, I think it's going this way already, right? We've got a teacher's strike tomorrow. We have a nurses' strike coming up again. And these strikes seem to be getting closer and closer to being on the same fucking day, don't they?
I think as well the primary teachers union are currently on a no meetings strike, where basically they stop work at 3 p.m. and they won't do any meetings after work.
They've had their pay equity things squashed.
Yep.
You know, a good friend of mine is an early childhood teacher. He's not involved in this strike action, obviously, but they had their pay equity claim was one of the ones that got absolutely nuked from orbit with no warning. So those guys are pissed off. You know, it's the government did something, and it has a follow-on effect. It has a response, and I think they just want the unions to just shut up for some reason, and that's not what unions do. It's not the union's task. I also love that Nationals thing of like, well, the unions are making the teachers do this. Do you know what the union is made of? The union is made of teachers.
Really?
Like, that is the job of a union, is to represent its members. Like, they seem to want to make the position that the union is forcing teachers to do this. The union membership would have voted on doing this.
Yeah. So it's a good. My point is always, if you don't want to do the job, then pay someone to do it. If that means paying them more to do it, then pay them more to do it. Because I don't see anyone other than teachers putting their hand up to teach your kids. And trust me, I know a lot of parents.
Judith Collins
they
being
would.
a relief teacher.
Oh, fuck me. Jesus. I know a lot of people, and when they hear, hey, do you want to be a teacher? They go, fuck off. And I wonder why. It's not exactly the easiest job, and you have to be a very special person to do it. So pay them.